Let's start off this video with a little experiment. If you're in front of the computer sitting there in your overpriced Naruto gaming chair, open up another tab and in your preferred search engine bar, type in the words best anime ever. You'll probably come across a bunch of articles that read along the lines of the top 25 best anime series of all time, the 16 best anime series of all time ranked, the top 10 anime that'll make you turn gay, number 6 will make you kiss your dad. And look, not to poke fun at these journalism conglomerates that supposedly don't have anything to do with the medium of anime on their respective sites and yet continue to shit out these garbage articles out on a regular basis, because I get it, times are tough, get that bag, sister. But the biggest problem that I and many anime enthusiasts have had with such top anime lists is this persisting notion of, well, that's just like one opinion, man. No anime fan, boomer, or Gen Alpha legitimately looks at these lists and goes, oh, well, I'll have you know, good sir, that BuzzFeed said that Akame Kill is the 24th best anime ever made, and that's why anime isn't for kids anymore. I'm 14, this is deep, cue elfin lead trauma meme. By the way, I wish I was joking, but that's what these bastards at BuzzFeed legitimately did. Not to mention, they put it above Berserk as well. Like, the Lion, the Witch, and the audacity of this bitch. Look, clearly most of these top anime lists have little to no authority over anything and are usually created to just be purposefully infuriating to bait the rage out of poor otakus such as yourselves, which only leads to these sites getting more clicks, views, and money. Capitalism, baby. Anime is the government. So it got me thinking, what do anime fans actually consider to be the best anime ever made? Well, I couldn't find any reasonable answers by scouring the internet, so I just said, screw it. Wait a minute. I'll do it myself. Boring. God, this so-called anime man guy really fell off hard. Yellow.
You're going down, Joey.
What?
You got no chance against my heroes. It's time for the villains to shine, baby.
Hold on, Gaunt. What are you talking about, man?
Joey, don't play dumb with me. I'm talking about AFK Arena.
AFK Arena? Oh, you mean that idle card role-playing mobile game with intricate strategy elements, smooth gameplay, and the new game server, AFK Arena Companions, that focuses more on co-op battles where players can borrow other players' heroes to combat missions together?
Yes.
Never heard of it.
Stop messing with me. You and I are going to be going head-to-head in AFK Arena's companion live event, whether you like it or not.
The live event? I mean, I know that AFK Arena's official YouTube channel will be hosting it, but you mean the one we're doing on Twitch?
Yes, on Twitch. Where else are we going to do it?
I don't know. Kick?
Joey, are you having a laugh?
So what, I'm just going to like play the game with you live on stream and see who's the better gamer?
There's going to be 2 challenges, speedrun mode and boss challenge mode.
Well, I have always wanted to be in a summoning salt video, so there's no way I'm losing the first one, but what's the boss challenge?
Just deal lots of damage to bosses. Best of 7 wins.
Huh. Seems hectic. So you want to, like, strategize together or something?
No, we're rivals, not Nakama. We're on opposite teams. I am your mortal enemy, Joey.
Well, I guess I have no choice but to beat your ass then.
Not if I have something to say about it.
Joey, I
don't speak Japanese. What did you say?
Anyway, what was I doing? Oh yeah, this. I was doing this.
Catch the AFK Arena Companions live event on Twitch on the 8th of December.
JST by clicking the link in the description below. Okay, before we reveal the answer to the title, let's do a little backstory. This whole journey started almost a year ago at the end of 2023. I was sitting there talking to a few of my friends on a night out and we were discussing a bunch of stuff. I don't really remember what exactly, you know, classic boys night. But the one thing I remember vividly is our discussion around recent anime series.
Lamau, dude thinks he still watches anime in 2024. Stop the cap.
Well, yes, those inevitable comments are certainly telling the truth. I have stopped watching all these dog shit shows that people will forget after a few months, but at the time, I was watching and enjoying shows like Free Ran, Spy Family Season 2, and most importantly for this particular story, a little show called The 100 Girlfriends Who Really really, really love you. It's important to get all of those reallys. I was trying to make the argument that although this show sounds stupid, and in actuality, it is quite stupid, it's also a stupidly fun show to watch, and that I felt a lot of people were undermining said show because of its dumb premise and title, instead being a little too quick to praise Free Ren in and out as this 10 out of 10 IGN approved masterpiece from just the first episode airing at the time. And look, that's not me saying that I didn't think Free Ren deserved a 10 out of 10. I mean, I sure as hell enjoyed both the anime and the original manga. I was just trying to make the argument that it's kinda difficult and honestly a little shallow-minded to make such a bombastic conclusion about a show from just one single episode, because we all know that this is a phenomenon that has happened multiple times in the anime community. Am I right? Wonder Egg priority? You were so close to being good and you just had to miss the dunk. Naturally, the conversation turned into more of a deeper discussion about how nobody in the anime community can seemingly come to an agreement about how good, bad, or mediocre a show is, and how amidst all of that online and offline chaos, it makes for a wonderful conversation setter amongst level-headed anime fans, which are unfortunately in this day and age starting to become the shiny Pokemon equivalent of online otakus. With that, I decided right then and there that I would try to open up what I like to call the anime census, a massive poll that would be conducted by anime fans all over the world to get a better glimpse into what kinds of anime fans exist out there, and to finally answer the age-old question of, so, like, what do anime fans actually like, really? Thus, after making a very quick and easy clickbaity title to get my immediate audience to answer said poll, and after asking people all over the internet to share said poll to people outside of my immediate fan base, we compiled all of the information into a single database of 145,769 anime fans. That's right, weebs. We did this collectively, and I couldn't be more proud of us as a human species. Which, by the way, if you're watching this video and you were so kind enough to answer in said anime census, first of all, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart, and second of all, I am so sorry for the wait. I don't know if you've ever individually counted the equivalent of the population of Reykjavik, Iceland, but that's basically what we had to do, and it took a load more time than I had initially thought. Also, a massive shout out to the folks over at Anime Trending for creating this beautiful visual representation of the database right here. It makes this data set just so much easier on the eyes, and it would be really, really awesome if you guys go and follow them on their socials and spam them with messages like, the anime guy said to tell you to say thank you, Daddy Anitrends. So before we start breaking down the juicy info that you've been waiting this many minutes to see, let's do a quick overview of where this data actually comes from. First of all, as previously mentioned, over 145,000 individual participants were involved in this census. To give you a visual representation, that's like 1 in every 2,279 Americans. I realize now that doesn't sound as impressive as I initially thought. But here's something that's actually impressive. These 145,000 plus participants were spread out over a total of 104 countries. I can't even name 104 countries, can you? You know what, let's try it out right now. Australia, America, Asia, Narnia. For each participant, a number of questions were asked akin to a standard census. Age, gender, place of origin, as well as some simple anime-related questions like, in your opinion, what is the best anime of all time? What is the worst anime of all time? And just for a bit of fun and banter, I also decided to include questions like, what's the most overrated anime of all time? What's the most underrated anime of all time? Because if I'm going to anger one community today, I might as well drag them all down to anime hell at the same time. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, welcome all to the Anime Census Awards Show 2024. I'm your host, the Hentai Kid, and today we'll be celebrating countries with standout results for this year's anime census. Everything from the good to the bad to the ugly. Let's see what today's nominations are. First of all, the award for the most amount of participants, unsurprisingly, goes to the United States of America, with a whopping 32% of votes coming from the land of the three. Thanks, Obama. In contrast, the award for the least amount of participants goes to the lovely little country of Cabo Verde. For those of you who don't know, which I assume is a large majority of you, it is a tiny island country off the west coast of Northern Africa. God damn, look at those oceans, bro. I just want to take a bath in it. Why don't you all have a guess? How many voted in the census who were from Cabo Verde? Vote now in the comments below. It was one person. A 21 to 30-year-old female who says that the best anime ever made is Showa Genroku Rakugo Shinju, and who said the worst anime ever made is In Another World with my smartphone. I'm sorry, who is this absolute Giga Chad? If I could, I would fly over to Cabo Verde myself right now, find out where you live just so we can recreate the Predator dap up, because my god, what an absolutely based opinion that you have. So a massive shout out to the country of Cabo Verde. You guys, guy, girl, insert gender here, have impeccable taste in anime. But of course, we also have a special award I like to give out to a number of participants in this census, which I like to call the most brain-dead participants who somehow don't know how a census works, because the internet will never stop being the internet award. These are the participants who, after looking at a simple question that says, which country do you currently live in, somehow manage to do everything but answer the question correctly and make my life fucking difficult for a couple of seconds. Some notable entries in this award include Uranus, East Blue, been traveling for 2 years, so no permanent home, but from UK. You could have just said UK, but sure. Liverpool, which I believe, if my memory serves me correctly, is in the UK. Antarctica, from the UK, but currently studying in Japan. How hard is it to just say UK? But fuck, anyway, whatever. Hawaii, which I believe is a state, not a country. Ligma, Soviet Russia, the middle of fucking nowhere. North Korea, Mars, the Principality of Zeon, your mum's basement, and my personal favorite of them all, Mizuryu K-Land. We all wish we lived in Mizuryu K-Land. As the great Albert Einstein once said, quote, "There are only 3 things in this existence that are infinite: the universe, human stupidity, and the amount of Zubat who spawn on Mount Moon." But enough about all of that. We need to actually get into the anime talk. So let's go over some of the countries whose results surprised me in one way or another. Make sure to leave in the comments if I mentioned your country. Let's go. Let's start with the largest population on the planet, India. Not only did India vote Gintama as the 3rd best anime ever made, but they also rated it the 2nd most underrated anime. In fact, this is kind of already a slight spoiler, but Gintama really got its share of praise and flowers, ranking as the 3rd most underrated anime in the world. As a Gintama fan, it really does warm my heart that this show gets its love and praise, but for the love of God, Gintama fans, I just have one thing to say to you all. Where the hell are you all? I know one other person in my friend group who is a Gintama fan. Y'all need to get out of your bunkers or wherever you're hiding and give Gintama some more love, goddammit. I need to know where my brothers and sisters are at. Apparently, the country of Mongolia absolutely despises ninjas, ranking Naruto as the 3rd most overrated anime, and deadass, I wish I was making this up, ranking his son Boruto as the worst anime ever made. Listen, look, I've played Ghost of Tsushima, so I understand that this isn't like regular hate. This is some generational hate we're seeing right now. Over in the continent of Europe, we've got a couple of countries whose votes I am slightly concerned for more than a couple of reasons. Italy ranked Sword Art Online as the 2nd worst anime ever made, which, albeit, is a little much, even coming from a certified SAO hater like myself. But my concern is more in the fact that Italy apparently views SAO as a worse anime than f***ing Boku no Pico. You know, that incredibly illegal, hideous, god-defying excuse of an anime that myself and many millions of people online watched back in the day as a stupid YouTube challenge. Yeah, 2015 was a weird year in the anime community, man. I I don't miss it at all. Meanwhile, Belarus is apparently a country full of hardcore manga readers because they ranked Berserk as the worst anime ever made and then said, you know what? You again, and ranked Berserk 2016 as the second worst, and then decided to double down on their manga superiority again and ranked Tokyo Ghoul as the third worst anime, which only tells me that apparently all of r/manga resides in Belarus of all places. But let's head down south from there into the beautiful continent of Africa, because Kenya seems to be a little bit confused. They ranked One Piece as the best anime ever made. Look, no problems there. We all saw it coming. But they also ranked One Piece as the second most underrated anime ever made and the most overrated anime ever made. So according to Kenyan anime fans, One Piece is the best, most overrated, underrated anime ever made. That makes sense. But let me give a quick little shout out to the anime community in South Africa. Aki and I had a chance to hang out there IRL last year, and it was honestly such an amazing experience. But Noragami being the most underrated anime ever made, dog, are y'all tripping? Absolutely nothing about Noragami was underrated. It wasn't even the most underrated anime of that season. Stop lying to everyone, South Africa, all right? Wait up. You're being gaslit by something or someone, and it needs to stop. Across the Atlantic pond, Uruguay somehow ranked Yu-Gi-Oh! As the third most underrated anime, which is shocking for some weird reason. The country of Peru ranked Serial Experiments Lain as its third most underrated anime, so I guess I love Peru now. And look, Brazil. Can I talk to you guys for a second? I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. After the news of the passing of the legendary manga artist Akira Toriyama, the world went into shock and mourning, and no country out there mourned the loss of the GOAT more than Brazil. So why the hell is DBZ not even in the top 10 best anime for you guys? It's almost a meme of how much Latin America, specifically Brazil, loves the shit out of DBZ. And yet, you ranked both Full Metal Alchemists higher than that? Are y'all manga readers or something as well? Because, like, is this like a trick you guys are playing on the rest of the world and that you guys actually don't like DBZ all that much or something? Because I feel like I just got backstabbed by an entire nation. Look, maybe it's an age gap thing and I'm just an angry man yelling at Cloud, because the only instance of DBZ ever being mentioned ever in this entire census was in the country of Honduras, which ranked, unfortunately, Dragon Ball as the second most overrated anime, which is insane to think about, especially considering the fact that they also ranked Magi as the most underrated anime. Look, listen, I don't have a strong opinion on Magi, but come on, Honduras, what the hell, man? Toriyama rolling in his grave. Meanwhile, in the country of Jamaica, they be on that godlike blunt rotation, my boys, ranking Akira as the second best anime ever made and Mars of Destruction as the third worst anime ever made, which, look, already fantastic taste. But the best part is when asked what the most underrated anime ever was, the people of Jamaica simply answered, nah. Like, they don't believe in any anime being underrated, which, like, I don't know, is that like based or something? Either way, I have to make my ass over to Jamaica so I can hang out with my fellow Akira enjoyers. That's gonna happen sooner rather than later, I promise you, Jamaicans. Some other standouts around this area include Panama ranking March Comes In Like a Lion as the most underrated anime, which is just factually correct. Costa Rica finally giving some deserved love to Tatami Galaxy because it is absolutely freaking amazing and everyone should watch it. And Guatemala having the most ADHD take on underrated anime that I've ever seen. Yes, the three genders. So with all of that out of the way, let's look at the general results. For starters, out of the 145,000 plus people who voted on this census, the majority of voters were between the ages of 20 to 30, which makes sense because this is an internet census and the overwhelming majority of internet anime fans are going to be around this age group. When asked what the preferred method of consuming Japanese media is, a staggering 62.5% of people said anime, which is honestly not as many people as I was initially expecting. I guess now that people have discovered that Japan isn't just anime land, there is a little more diversity than before, with 25.6% saying manga, 6.8% saying video games, 3.9% saying music, and a staggering 1.2% saying novels, which I thought, wow, people reading books without pictures in them in 2024? What the hell is going on? Until I realized, oh wait, they meant light novels. Okay, I mean, look, I ain't hating. You know, rise up, light novel fans. We're a dying breed in this decade. The most underrated anime, according to the internet, is Death Parade, Monster, and Gintama in that order, which I must say, fantastic taste all around. So well done, internet. We know a good anime when we see one. Thank goodness. Death Parade being the #1 most underrated anime, though, was a little bit of a surprise. Not because I don't think it's a good anime or anything. If anything, it is one of the most memorable shows I've seen in the past 10 years. Wow, it literally came out 10 years ago. I am getting old, my boys. Moving over to the overrated anime section, though, things are starting to get, dare I say, a little, contrarian, with Demon Slayer, One Piece, and Attack on Titan making the top 3. Tell me you live on r/anime without telling me. I mean, look, I get it. Are these the most perfect anime that encapsulate the same hype as the second coming of Christ? Not necessarily, but you do have to admit that each of these shows do have qualities about them that are just a lot of fun and are great. I mean, I certainly enjoyed watching parts of these shows to some degree. I think this result really just encapsulates the power of an online fan base and really proves that a lot of people hate it when you don't shut the fuck up about your favorite anime. But which shows did the world rate as just being objectively crap? Well, at number 3, we have the aforementioned Boku no Pico, which is absolutely insane that it's only in 3rd place considering what it actually is, and even more insane when it ranks below the number 2 spot, which is Sword Art Online. Guys, what are we trying to say here? Are we really saying that a crappily executed isekai anime is worse than, I don't know, literal anime CP? Listen, I hate SAO as much as the next guy, but even I can say with full confidence that I would much rather watch SAO 100 times over than anything with the word Pico in the title. If I wasn't scared of anime fans before, I certainly am now. Oh, and the worst anime ever according to the internet is X-Arm. Like, tell me you have a brain without telling me you have a brain. But now that we've got all of that fluff out of the way, let's finally answer the question in the title. What does the worldwide anime community think the best anime ever made is? Starting at number 10, we have Mob Psycho 100, which, thank God, after the last section we just discussed, finally gives me a little hope for the future of the anime community. At number 9 is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which makes sense considering that it's still considered by sites like My Anime List to be God's personal gift to Earth. For a lot of people who started watching anime in the mid-2000s, this show was the anime that opened the floodgates, so I don't blame anyone who holds this show in a special place. Number 8 is Steins Gate, which is honestly shocking to me. Don't get me wrong, it's a fantastic show, but it does run into the problem of being a little bit of a slow show as well, especially in the first half, which obviously pushed a lot of then and now anime fans far away from it. Yes, the second half is one of the most amazing payoffs you can experience in modern anime, but I also understand that saying, no bro, you just have to wait for the first 6 hours until it gets good, trust me bro, is an insane amount of copium, especially for this generation of TikTok brain rot anime fans. But please give it a go if you haven't watched it yet. It really is worth it. Number 7 is Cowboy Bebop, which, let's be real, nobody's surprised. Even after Netflix fumbling the bag and smearing a small little shit stain on its legacy, Bebop remains one of those hood classic anime that is loved by multiple generations. I mean, listen, I personally prefer Samurai Champloo, but who asked, am I right? Number 6 is Neon Genesis Evangelion. Are we starting to see a pattern here? It isn't surprising that the more notable, oh, I've heard heard that before type of shows are making it onto the higher positions on this list. And as an Evangelion fan, look, I'm not mad about this placement at all. Because number 5 is potentially the biggest upset I could have expected in this census. Because it goes to freaking Gintama, baby! We did it, Gintama fans! Rise up, raise the flags, sound the Neo Armstrong Cyclone Jet Armstrong cannons, because we did it. We have finally beaten Evangelion. We are triumph! Finally! Ah! But seriously, just go watch Gintama if you haven't. It's actually super fun to watch. Hell, even the live action was good. And you know, that's the biggest praise any anime franchise could ever receive. At number 4, we have Code Geass, which just proves the staying power that a solid ending has on the legacy of an anime. Don't get me wrong, Code Geass is an incredible story with memorable characters, and the animation from Studio Sunrise is just aged like a fine Chianti, but most people remember the sheer awe they felt with how it all ended, and for good reason. You could watch a seasoned gymnast do a quadruple axel flip into a triple backflip spin attack, but if after all of that flashiness, they land flat on their face and break their neck, it looks way less impressive and just overall disappointing for everyone. In my opinion, anime falls into that same category. So many series in the past 20 to 30 years have done some impressive flips and tricks during their run, only to then end up falling on their face and breaking their necks. But Code Geass said, nah bitch, I'ma do both, and became one of the most memorable and beloved anime even after 20 years of it originally coming out. So shout out Code Geass, man. All my homies love Code Geass, man. I could watch C2 sell me Pizza Hut any day of the week. Moving on to the top 3, and at number 3, we have Hunter x Hunter 2011. Is it really all that surprising that a manga that has been in hiatus for as long as it's been in constant serialization and yet somehow hasn't been dropped by Shonen Jump yet, sits so high in the best anime ranking? I swear, Hunter x Hunter is the only shonen anime that shonen fans don't get bullied for liking, and I think that just says a lot on its own. The runner-up, though, for the best anime ever made, with a staggering 3 times the votes of Hunter x Hunter 2011, goes to the modern masterpiece anime, Attack on Titan. Call it recency bias with the anime series only ending a year ago, or that the new and final, maybe not final, I don't trust these naming conventions, Attack on Titan movie getting released in Japanese cinemas just a few days ago of me recording this video. But regardless of the way too loud, obnoxious, and annoying as online fan base, Attack on Titan is genuinely an awesome anime. I mean, I enjoyed the shit out of it. The stories and characters were memorable as hell. The music was epic and grand, and I truly don't blame anyone who wants to call this a modern masterpiece, because it's certainly the closest thing we've gotten to one in this day and age in anime. But alas, there is one anime that has beaten out the modern masterpiece, because the best anime ever, according to over 145,000 anime fans all around the world, is the One Piece! Seriously, are we really surprised? The sheer length of its serialization, the iconic nature of its art and characters, its ease of accessibility in its storytelling themes and subject matter, the sheer loudness and dedication of its fanbase, the countless amount of memes, its ungodly survivability of outlasting some of the most loved and praised and famous shonen series to ever come out of the world of manga and anime. There is no denying that One Piece truly is the king of anime today. And look, if you're sitting there mauling over that fact, I think that's completely fine. If anything, I encourage anyone and everyone to openly disagree with anything I mention in this video down in the comments, because at the end of the day, these 145,769 people who openly express their opinions on good and bad anime are basically doing the exact same thing. We're all just expressing our opinions, and there is no such thing as a correct or incorrect opinion, obviously, and it's so important to understand that nuance and understand that we can also agree to disagree. It's what keeps interesting conversation around this art medium continuing through generations, and is the sole reason why I decided to do this whole video in the first place. Although that casual conversation that I had with my friend a year ago about free ran and 100 girlfriends ultimately came to a disagreement that none of us were willing to budge on, it was still a really fun conversation that was enlightening and engaging because we both understood that all of this, all of everything we said is just opinion. No offense taken, no offense given. You know, I've increasingly been seeing the internet just get more and more uptight about opinions surrounding anime. Like, they're just constantly bitching and complaining and moaning and whining because some random person on the internet said that your favorite anime is trash, and your response to all of that is sending the most hateful messages and death threats to a person you don't even know the face of. Like, it's all just really f***ing tiring to watch. Look, I've said some pretty hot takes about all sorts of anime throughout my almost 12-year career on this website, but I mostly don't regret saying any of it because I understand, and most people who watch me understand, that anything I say is just one dumb motherfucker's opinion about some random Japanese cartoon. I don't have any more authority over anime than anyone else, and if you think that I do, that's a you problem, not mine. Hopefully this anime census has shown you that people all over the world have all these different opinions on their favorite and least favorite anime that you may not necessarily agree on. But more importantly, isn't all of this amazing? Like, when I was growing up, I thought only people in Japan watched and liked anime. We get to hear opinions on anime from people in countries I can't even freaking pronounce or confidently point to on a map. It's really incredible just how much anime has spread throughout the world, and that fact makes me just so happy as a longtime anime fan that no matter where in the world I go, there are people who love and hate anime just as much as I do. So thank you to everyone who participated in this anime census. Thank you to the folks over at Anime Trending for helping me put this all together. And thank you for watching this video. Oh my god, I'm so glad I finally managed to get this video out. Jesus Christ. By the way, obviously, I didn't get to cover, you know, all of the countries in the census. I didn't get to go through all 104 countries. So I've actually left the link to the beautiful visual that you see before me of the anime census that was, again, created by the folks over at Anime Trending. Thank you very much. You can click that link down in the description to go check it out for yourself. Go find your country, see what they voted as the best, worst, overrated, underrated, and see if you agree with them or not. But yeah, just echoing that last point that I made in the video, you know, just if you disagree with someone's opinion on anime, don't get too serious about it. It's just a Japanese cartoon, all right? Like, just relax, just enjoy what you enjoy, and just understand that, you know, people like and dislike different things. So that's all I have to say on that. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, and I might do another anime video before the year ends. We'll see how you guys go with that. But yeah, shout out to the sponsor of today's video. Shout out to you guys for participating, and thanks for watching. Leave a like, sub, all that shit. I'll see you guys in the next video. Ja ne.